Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. This video is going to be about buying trucks. I have not bought every truck in the world. I have not bought it from every angle, but I do have a system that I like to use, and it works for me. I'm not saying my system is the best way by all means. I'm just saying this is one man's opinion on buying trucks, and it is meant to help educate people that have never bought a truck, and therefore I'm just trying to help. I'm not trying to say I'm completely right. So if you have a better way, awesome. But this is just to help people that have never bought a truck. Kind of some things to expect. Number one, don't buy a truck that's not the right tool for the job. Let's get right into it. Don't buy a truck that, is made to pull a flatbed if you're going to pull a van. It doesn't work out right. You have to buy the right tool for the job, If you live in the middle of flat ground, nowhere, don't buy a truck with a really high gear ratio. You're not gonna, if you're not gonna be pulling mountains, why do you need all that gearing? Stuff like that, Consider the truck. Don't just buy the first truck you get approved for. Do the research beforehand. I'm a firm believer in that. Know what you need going in. It's like if you've got a Phillips head screw you need to take out, don't go buy a hammer. I mean, what are you going to do with a hammer when you got a Phillips head screwdriver? It's not the right tool for the job. Get the right tool for the job and make your life a lot simpler. So let's go into some scenario here. So you've figured out what you're going to do. Let's just, for instance, you're going to be pulling a drive-in. You find you a truck that fits the formula. The way I would suggest doing it is, my take is, buy it from a local dealership, local to you, and build a relationship with that dealer. So in the future, when you go to buy other trucks, you've got people you've dealt with before. If they do you right, everything goes good, then hey, we can work on that relationship. I can come here and buy trucks in the future. If not, don't come back there and buy trucks again. But most of the time, dealerships want your return business, so they will do you a little better. I'm not a huge fan of buying trucks at an auction. You just don't know what you're getting. You really don't. A dealership can at least, a good one, and with a good used truck, and they know where it came from. They can give you some background information on it. Like the truck I bought it from a dealership. I knew what fleet it came out of. I knew the records, on like when it had been in any Freightliner shop. I had all those records. There's a lot to that, guys. So, when you buy a truck at auction, just be prepared. You're probably going to have to fix a few things on it. I'm not saying trucks at the dealership are perfect, but build that relationship, and I think you'll do better buying them that way. Me, personally, the best way you can buy a truck is from someone personally. That's the way to do it. If you know someone personally that has a truck they're selling and they know all the records, they've had it for a while, they've treated it good, that's the best way to buy a truck. That's a very hard scenario to come by, though. The most reasonable and one you can expect to have a chance at is the dealership option, in my opinion. I don't know. A lot of these buy here, pay here lots, I hear a lot of negative things out of them, and they're very impersonal. Is my big thing on it, is they don't care if you succeed or not, as long as they're cranking out their quota. That's all they care about. So it makes me a little weary of those places, the Lone Mountains and the places like that. I've heard a lot of horror stories out of it. One thing I will tell you that a lot of people don't understand about Lone Mountain, if you are going to go that route, is they require about double what they show for a down payment on their website. So if they're on their website showing, $4,000 down, they're going to want about $8,000 in your bank account showing you've got some money above the down payment. So you can't just walk in there with like $3,000 down and get a truck that says $3,000 down. They want a little above and beyond that. I have never bought a truck from Lone Mountain. I went through the process, and then I did not like the trucks they had to offer, so I bounced on that situation. And I went and bought a truck from the MHC Kenworth in Nashville. I was very glad I went that route. I had a good experience with that truck. You know, these big dealerships, the shops, can be a little bit of a pain to deal with because they, you know, their money's in the mega fleets, so they kind of will put you out in that regards. But as far as buying a truck, you know, research the truck you want. I recommend your first truck be an aerodynamic truck, preferably not with a ton of miles on it. You know, you don't want to set yourself up for failure. You know, like, you're going to have some obstacles. Maybe you don't have the connections. You're not the best at picking freight in the beginning. So, and if the market's down, you don't want a truck that's not fuel efficient. That's going to be your biggest cost. And let's face it, if you run into a down market 3 months into owning a truck, I mean, right now everybody's all, you know, happy, and rates are this and rates are that, and yay, rates, you know, so, and fuel costs are down. But let me tell you, I've been in trucking when it's the inverse. Fuel prices were up and, you know, rates were down. So that's where I come from. I've ridden the roller coaster long enough now to know you get you an aerodynamic, fuel efficient truck. I'm not going to pick a brand. I'm not going to pick an engine. You do your research on that. You figure out what you like. Every one of them has pros. Every one of them has cons. You have to weigh it out and be happy with what you choose. That's the thing. Get a truck that you're happy about having. Because if you're in this thing every day and you hate it, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money, okay? So pick a truck you like. Pick a truck that you're happy with and you can make money with in a not so good market. Now, fuel's about $2 a gallon right now. Rates are like $4 a mile. You know, probably $4 on a good day. I'm saying, like, your average is probably like $2.50 right now. So if you're averaging $2.50 a mile and fuel's $2 a gallon, you should be killing it. But let's face it, things are not always this good. Let's backtrack 8 months to March. You know, rates were like $1.25. You know, fuel was about this price. Fuel's about the same. But, you know, I can go back to, like, you know, 2013 was a rough year. You know, fuel was like $3 plus a gallon, and you know, rates were not that great. So if you want to be I think the best way to be off the bat to be successful is to get the fuel efficient truck. Get one that's not at the end of its life. You know, preferably one from a decent fleet if you're getting a fleet truck. You know, research the fleet it came from. I've heard some horror stories on these mega fleets not doing oil changes when they're supposed to do them. You know, they just piece them through until they get to 400,000 miles and then they turn them out. You know, it's a rough way for a truck to survive. You know, maybe not buy it from a training company. You know, that would be one of my suggestions. Because those guys in training, you know, they don't know no better. They rev the engines real high. They're hard on them. You know what I mean? So that's my recommendation. It's a process I use to buy trucks. Don't be in a rush to get a truck. Don't be like, oh, I got to have a truck right now because rates are $2.50 a mile and I got to have it tomorrow, and get taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Like, patience is key in business. Don't just run out there and let someone take advantage of you. Think about the truck you want. Think about the truck you need. Do the research on the truck. Find the truck. Use truckpaper.com. Use that detailed search. If you look beside class 7 and 8, right beside it, it'll have a little small thing you can click on. It says detailed search. Hit that detailed search. Narrow it down to the engine you want. Find it near your house. Would be my suggestion. I'm not a fan of driving all the way across the country to buy equipment, because to me, it puts you in a mindset of, I'm invested in this equipment already. I have taken my time and my money and my effort, and I've gone to even look at it. And it's harder to turn away at that point. Versus, you know, if you take a 20-minute drive down to the local dealership and you look at a truck and, you know, you're like, well, I don't like this, I don't like that, and they're not willing to change it, you're not committed to it. You drive home, you live to fight another day. That's why I like local dealerships. You know, build a relationship with a good salesperson. And not only that, but if they know you personally and they know you live local and they understand, like, let them know. Say, I plan on being an owner-operator for a long time. I want a dealership I can build a relationship with. they will help you out tremendously. That's the type of customer a salesperson wants. He wants someone local that has an opportunity to be a repeat buyer. And, you know, like this truck here, I had to call into a couple dealerships on this exact, I wanted this type of truck. And I wanted it from a certain fleet. I didn't want it from a mega fleet. I wanted it from a fleet that I know takes care of trucks. And it put off me buying a truck for a while because I was waiting on those dealerships to try to take a trade-in or something from a decent fleet in the area. Finally got it. Pretty happy with it. But that's, to me, that's the key to it, guys. Not being in a rush, not putting yourself out there too much. You know, these dealerships, they know if you travel from, you know, Minnesota to Texas to look at a truck, they know they don't have to bend over. They don't have to help you. They know you, chances are they're never going to see you again. You know, they just want to turn you and burn you. That's it. Not saying it all like that, but that's like, you're giving them the upper hand is what I'm trying to say. When they know you've traveled thousands of miles, you've took a plane trip, or you've rented a car and drove halfway across the country to look at a truck, that puts them in a position to have the upper hand. I don't like that. That's why I'm big on local dealerships and find the truck you want. I don't care if you want a Kenworth. I don't care if you want a Mack, a Freightliner. I don't care. But know what you want before you go in. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the dealership and just pick out the first one that they approve you for, because it's probably not going to be the greatest deal you can get. Try to secure your financing outside of the dealership, especially your first-time buyers. You know, your credit union, your bank, unless you have a good sizable down payment, they're probably not going to want to mess with you. Check out the fundingbooth.com. All they do is finance equipment. Shout out to Asian Mai. He is part owner of that business, or a partner in that business. So check them out, fundingbooth.com. Get your financing in order before you go to look at trucks. Like, pick out the truck you want, figure out the funding on it, and then go purchase the truck. That would be the steps I would do. You know, find out what kind of truck you want. Find it, for me, locally. For you, if you want to go across the country and get one, I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying that's not my style, you know. But that's how it is, guys. That's my take on it. People have been asking me about this. I just wanted to put it out there. Like I said, it's not the perfect way to buy a truck, but it's just my insight. So if you disagree with it, you can let me know you disagree with it. Just, you know, be adult about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing in the comments section, guys. I don't mind if you disagree with me, but let's don't have a third grade disagreement. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to talk about each other's mothers. We don't have to talk about each other's manhood. You know what I'm saying? If you have a better way of doing it, by all means, put it out there. If you can help one driver, I'll never be mad at you. If you tell me I'm wrong and it helps someone else, I can eat that. I can say, hey, I was wrong. You were right. But anyway, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Click on one of these other videos here and continue to watch me.